Hello, everyone. And it's good we're letting people in, because letting people in takes a little while in Zoom with this volume of people, I think.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So I'd love to first start off by welcoming everyone into this space and welcoming everyone to this amazing call to action we've got going on. I will now hand it over to Erica and Tom to welcome you all and give a little Humanity Forward welcome.
Hey everyone, this is Erica McLeod from Humanity Forward. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. This is like a very exciting moment for us. We are about to launch a call to action nationally for our endorsed candidates. So I wanted just to welcome all of you. Enjoy. We have some special guests here, as you can see on the main screen. So yeah, I'm going to throw it to Tom to get it started.
All right, I will wait 1 minute officially so that we can get as many people in, but we are very thrilled for this. This is going to be an exciting moment. You're going to see a bunch of candidates from across the entire country that are all here because they understand the impact that you can have and the power of this group to really bring about change. So yeah, we are excited to have everybody. I'm loving seeing all the numbers roll in. So we'll just wait a tad bit longer.
I just wanted to pop in and say thank you everyone for joining us. Humanity Hangs, hosting this call to action. We really appreciate all of the volunteer help we can get. Some nights we have small mistakes. And you know what? We can levy that by having more co-hosts for these nights. So if you're interested in volunteering, quick call to action. Come be a co-host for the Community Hangs. Looks like quite a few people are piling in.
Peter, I just wanted to shout out your standing desk setup you got going on. You look like a professor.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the books are not mine. I think there's maybe there's maybe one book back there that's mine. I think I threw The War on Normal People up as like a visual. No, I didn't. I didn't even bother. Look at that. I did just finish this book, Zucked, by Roger McNamee, that I recommend. We're launching something next week around trying to activate people's data property rights, which should be a lot of fun. We have a lot of excitement here around Humanity Forward. Oh, look, it's Ron Kim. We just endorsed you today. What's up, Ron? Look at that. I want to give a special call out for the candidates who are here because, and it's cool, the candidates sent the team all good. Some of you are in the home stretch, but if you're a candidate who are here, I certainly do want to call you out and actually even give you a minute to say hello, because I know candidates, as the candidate myself, once upon a time, like if I showed up to something and I didn't get a chance to get some shine, I felt a little bad. So let's have any candidate who's here, just go ahead and spotlight them, let them say hello, really. Let's kick it off with Robbie Goldstein in Massachusetts. I think I see Robbie's handsome face. Is that right? Go ahead, Night Robbie.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for having me on and giving me an opportunity to say hi to everyone. For people who don't know me on the call yet, I'm Dr. Robbie Goldstein. I am a physician at Massachusetts.
Oh, sorry, we had a muting issue that just popped up.
Are we good now?
Yeah,
you're back.
Yes,
okay.
Robbie, if I can actually jump in, we have a moment about 15 minutes into the call where we're going to go through all the candidates.
Oh, great. Okay.
Since we are seeing all the participants flowing in, we want to make sure that all of y'all get the chance to be spotlighted by as many people as we can. So we are going to run through the agenda and get this ball rolling.
Look at that, Robbie. False alarm, man. We'll come back to you in a little bit when the room is more full.
Oh, yeah. We had 12 different participants jump in during that brief window. So this is a good chance for us to see that momentum build.
Exactly. I'd love to, Tom, do you want to say a few words before I run through the itinerary?
Absolutely. I think we have enough people to officially really get started. So welcome everybody. My name's Tom. I'm a former campaign staffer with the Yang campaign and am just
Tom, what's up, man?
doing as much volunteering opportunity here to just spread the word and continue to build the movement. What we have going on tonight is a chance for you to meet all of these different candidates that are out there that are taking on this fight, continuing to push this message, and show people that the strength of this movement is still here. So we are very excited. I will actually kick it to Kimberly and Peter in a second to go through the overall agenda and what you can expect. But the main thing is this is a really good opportunity for us to understand that we have a short window of time that we can really capitalize on to push forward a universal basic income. So we have 5 days until our next round of primaries. We have opportunities to do congressional pressure today, and let's see what we can do. So I will kick it over to Kimberly, and let's see what the agenda looks like.
Welcome, everyone. So my name is Kimberly. I'm in San Diego, and I just want to let you all know that we are live casting this. We are recording. We are going to be having some fun tonight, and I want to let you all know how it's going to flow. So right now, we are opening up with wonderful Andrew Yang. We'll pass it off to him next. We will then have some time for everyone, or for Tom to give us some information on bringing everyone to the call to action. The candidates will also be given some time at that time to give a 30-second to a minute rundown and hello to everyone. And then we're gonna have some breakout rooms. And with that, everyone will be assigned to a breakout room with one of the lucky candidates that we have here endorsed today. And you'll be able to ask them some questions. You'll also have some moderators in your room that will help to facilitate moving that process along. And we have some really great people that have been our Humanity Hang moderators for a while now that are going to be helping with us.
Kim, are you serious? Oh my God.
Yay. Okay. Please do keep yourself muted through this process, guys. That will help us to spotlight the individuals that we need at this moment. Moving forward, we will then come back to the main room, and we will then have some moments with Jermaine Johnson. And he's gonna then give us his call to action and just kind of share his love and support, or we'll show him our support by really congratulating him on his most recent win through his primary process, which will be super exciting. And then we will leave it to the rest of the evening to just relax and have those moments with Jermaine. So thank you all for being here. Pass it to Peter to do the big intro.
Oh, wow. I get to do the thing. I am so pleased. You know, I'm going to have to do one mechanical thing here and click.
Where did you go?
Oh, here I am. Are we good? So just FYI, everyone, I'm so sorry, but we've had to go ahead and mute lock everybody. We're going to go ahead and unmute those folks and co-host those folks that need to speak. But after that awkwardness is over, I wanted to say thank you for being here. And I wanted to introduce you to the boss, my president, and the one I'm going to see in 2024, I believe. You guys all know who he is, and he's here to do the thing tonight. And it's a very important thing. Everybody, I'm spotlighting Andrew Yang now.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Peter. Thank you. Thank you, Erica. Thank you to the incredible candidates who are here today. I see Suzanne, Robbie, Ron, Blair, so many others. It's been such a pleasure getting to know the candidates. One of the fun parts of my job is I talk to candidates that Humanity Forward is considering endorsing. And I have to say, I am so 100% behind everyone that we have endorsed. They're all phenomenal people, leaders who want to do the right thing by their communities. And it's great that now we're at a point where we can help push some of these candidates forward and on to victory. And we all celebrated, I know, when Jermaine won. And Jermaine won by a freaking super landslide. I don't know if you all saw that. I mean, he was running against an incumbent who'd been there for years, and he dominated him by something like 30 points, which really doesn't happen very often in state politics. And the Yang Gang had a huge role in that. We kind of flooded the zone with resources and helped drive Jermaine to victory. Though I will say Jermaine's a phenomenal person. And I think people in South Carolina just realized that it was time for a change, but we helped a great deal. And you all have a lot to do with that. The hope is that we can do for some of the candidates who are here tonight and around the country what we did for Jermaine. This movement is such a source of pride and joy to me. The fact that the presidential campaign ended one day and then we just picked right where we left off the next day. We're just gathering steam, growing in force and momentum. And from on a personal level, I have to say there are a lot of people that came back around and gave our campaign another look because of the circumstances that we're all in. You know, everyone thought that I was a little bit extreme in my call for $1,000 a month for everyone, and now everyone's like, we should totally do that, or we should have done that, and now we should do it, and we should probably even go bigger. And then they look at some of the other things that we stand for, and they agree. We need to humanize the economy. We need to make democracy actually work for us. We need to turn these things around from what's become this dehumanizing, punishing economy that has become even more extreme with the coronavirus crisis. And you all know my perspective on this, that we're in the midst of a new Great Depression, and for whatever reason, our leaders in Congress do not understand the severity of the situation. We're going to have unemployment benefits end in July, eviction moratorium for federally backed housing end in August. Millions of Americans are going to be struggling in the days to come, and we have to do something about it. Like, to me, it's mind-boggling that if you have 65, 70, 75% of Americans who are for cash relief, that Congress does not pass that immediately. It's going to be the most popular thing they ever do. You know, they do it, then everyone's actually going to breathe easier and like them for a change. But instead, they're doing something else. So hopefully we can change that today, here and now, as a group. We can help get Blair and Ron and Robbie and other candidates across the finish line and set a new tone in DC and in state capitals around the country. Jermaine is just the beginning. We have to get more people into the winner circle like Jermaine, and this is the group of people to do it. This is the team to do it. I am so proud of everyone on this call. I'm so proud that our movement is just gaining momentum and gathering steam. It's because of each and every one of you. You believe that we can do better. We need to do better in our communities. And I have to say, the fun thing about these local races is that you don't necessarily need like $1 million or like, you know, like 100,000 people, you know, to move the needle. Like, we can get, you know, like $50,000 and a few thousand votes, and it could be a difference maker in some of these districts and some of these elections. So let's make that happen. Let's energize our base. Let's energize the Yang Gang. Let's get behind these candidates. And right now is the time, because some of this voting starts literally on Tuesday, like less than a week from now. In some cases, early voting has already begun and people can start mailing in ballots days ago. So let's do the work. Let's move people into the voted for a Humanity Forward endorsed candidate column. And let's get Jermaine some company in the winner circle. This is the call to action. It's time to take action, Yang Gang. Let's do it. I am so pumped to be here and so pumped for each and every one of you and every one of our candidates. And when you get a chance to meet them, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, fantastic. We are so excited. And I think that actually brings up the perfect chance for us to switch into those candidate introductions. So Robbie, since we had the little kerfuffle with you I think that's the perfect place for us to start off. And then Kimberly, I think you've got a list of the order of candidates, so we can run through that list and just give everybody a chance to introduce themselves before we get into the meat of this whole meeting.
Let's give it up for Robbie Goldstein from Massachusetts. Robbie. Peter's knighting Robbie. I can feel it. It's hard because there's so many people in this room now.
Robbie, are you co-hosted yet?
Yep,
yes.
there's Robbie.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank
Yay.
you. We got it to work. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Andrew. So as you now know, because I said it earlier, but I'll say it again, I'm Dr. Robbie Goldstein. I am running for Congress in Massachusetts in the 8th Congressional District. I am a physician by training. I'm actually an infectious disease doctor who did an MD PhD and have been working as really a primary care doc for the past 10 years, taking care of folks, really dealing with them in the exam room and talking about the barriers to their care, talking to them about how we can make life better for them and how we can get everyone that healthy life that they deserve. I got into this race because the person who's currently representing the 8th District of Massachusetts is a conservative to moderate Democrat who voted against the Affordable Care Act, who voted against women's reproductive rights and has described himself as pro-life for a long time. I got into this race because I wanted to bring humanity and health into the conversation. So I am excited. Our race is all summer long. Our primary is on September 1st. And I'm excited to have the Yang Gang with me as we move through the summer, hopefully to victory on September 1st.
Thank you so much. Is Mike in the house?
I believe Mike is trying to. He is doing some town
Unmute,
halls
I
in
just
Kentucky.
unmuted you. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how are you doing, everybody? Hey, oh, hey, there's Tom Jeffries, all these great faces. And I'm Mike Royer. I'm running for U.S. Senate in Kentucky, obviously running against Mitch McConnell. And so I don't know if I really need to go into a lot of reasons why I'm running, other than the fact that my wife and I are both retired Marines, and we saw what was happening in this country a long time ago as a slide to authoritarianism. And it was my main reason for getting in. And back in last July when I launched my campaign, I would tell people it was this fear of authoritarianism that got me into it. They looked at me kind of funny, but just this past week, of course, we've heard the former Chief of Staff, John Kelly, use the word authoritarianism. We've heard the words come out of former Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis's mouth. And we also had to see General Mark Milley, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, send a message to the force, reminding them that their first duty is to the Constitution. And so I like to say, generals, welcome to the club. I'm glad better to have you joining me in this sphere, better late than never. But my campaign started, and I've never run for office before, first time out. It was founded in a call for social and economic justice for all. And it was through my son, who's just a big-hearted kid, who chose Andrew as his first candidate, his own first candidate. And I finally had to call him up and say, hey, dude, what's with this, you and this Andrew Yang guy? And he talked about humanity forward. He talked about, human capitalism. He talked about turning our system of capitalism on its head and ensuring that money goes to people who work, people who will spend it, the middle class, the working class, the working poor. And that was such a good fit for my campaign, calling for social and economic justice, that I was a great beneficiary of many of Andrew's staffers who came to work here for me in Kentucky. And many of them are names that I'm sure you'll recognize, and to include Tom, who's sitting right next to me on the screen. I'm happy to see his face, but it has been such a great relationship with Andrew's supporters, and the degree of professionalism and intelligence they brought to my very, very amateurish campaign, but more importantly, the work ethic and the ethos that they said, this is a guy who can beat Mitch McConnell. He has the message. He's in this for the right reason. And that's why they all kind of drove to Kentucky and showed up on my farm. So that's it for me. What you can do, MikeForKY.com/sign up, phone banking, text in, outreach. You guys know how to do this. And that's the only thing I can ask from you right now. So thank you so much for having me tonight. It was great.
Thank you, Mike, for coming. We really appreciate it. Next, we're going to go to Jeremy.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jeremy Cooney, Asian kid from upstate New York, what that sounds like. Schenectady is just down the road from Rochester, New York, where I'm from. I actually was born in an orphanage in Calcutta, India, and was adopted and came to upstate New York and raised in public schools and got involved with public service in the early 2000s, working for a great former member of Congress, Louise Slaughter, pioneering microbiologist in Congress. And I've been serving our community ever since in Rochester. If you think Rochester sounds familiar, it's Kodak Town, right? This is the home of Kodak and photography, right? And it's a really surprise, surprise in this new economy that we're in. And with automation occurring, our healthcare and our education sectors are going to be dramatically changed forever. And we are struggling with that in upstate New York. And I was really drawn to Andrew's belief in universal basic income, and also his belief in taking risks and encouraging, whether you're in the political field or whether you're in the business field, taking more risks, using data to drive decision making, and being willing to be humble and make a mistake and then get back on your horse and try again. And speaking about getting back on a horse and trying again, I ran in 2018 for the state Senate, and we came very close. We got 44% of the vote, and the person that we ran against was a pretty conservative Republican, and he's not running for re-election. So this is an open seat. Our election's actually this coming Tuesday. It's a primary in New York State, and we're very hopeful with your support that we'll get there. It's a big deal for anyone in upstate New York to be associated with Andrew Yang, and it's even bigger that a kid like me who was born in poverty could have the opportunity to run for public office in this great country. So I'll drop a link to our website and our social media in the chat box. But thank you for being here, and I can't wait to work with you guys. And let's do some great policy making in New York State.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much. We will next go to Russ. I'm unmuting you. There you go.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Russ Turinsi. I'm running for Congress in New Jersey's 6th District. It's central Jersey. We have 37 miles of coastline here. But a little bit about me real quick. I'm 33 years old. I'm a government attorney. I've worked to protect housing justice in New York State. You know, I've seen the inequities of housing inequality, and I really want to serve people and do justice for the people here. You know, I have experience drafting legislation. I actually passed a bill, helped draft a bill that passed last year that protects people who live in manufactured homes. But you know, fundamentally, I love Humanity Forward's vision and Andrew Yang's vision for focusing on people over profits, for creating an economy that works for everyone. I think that's really needed in a time like today. I'm up against a 32-year incumbent corporate Democrat in name only, who's blocked the $2,000 a month emergency cash for the people act, and he will continue to block it, even though our state has been one of the worst hit by COVID. We've seen almost 1 million jobs lost in New Jersey. We need a UBI, an emergency UBI, right now for everyone in this country. It makes sense from an economic standpoint and to protect our American people. And you know, I started to run because my son's turning 3, and we don't have any time to wait on the climate crisis. We have to create millions of new jobs of the future, and we have to invest in the technology of tomorrow. And you know, I'm really excited because people here love a Green New Deal and love talking about looking at the potential of thorium reactors and things like that. We're changing the conversation in New Jersey. So I'm super thankful to be here. If anybody wants to join up, go to russforus2020.com. We need volunteers. We have about 80 people chipping in some time here and there to volunteer. And right now, vote by mail ballots are out, but it goes all the way until July 7th. And thank you so much. And let's keep working for humanity.
Awesome. Next, we have a representative with the Nate McMurray campaign. Hunter, are you with us?
And while we are waiting for Hunter to jump on, we will be sharing some slides and information with people. So all the sign up links and everything will be going out after this meeting as well.
Yes, thank you, Tom. Take
Everyone,
it away, Hunter.
Perfect. So hi, I am Nate's field director, Hunter Siegel. Nate is currently making some fundraising calls as we have not just a primary, we have a special election next Tuesday to fill the vacant seat that Chris Collins left. For those of you who don't know the story around Chris Collins was the first person in the United States government to endorse Donald Trump's candidacy to the presidency in 2016. 3 years later, he was found guilty on insider trading charges that he actually committed while on the lawn of the White House. So Nate ran against Chris in 2018, came within 0.37% of the vote. It was less than 1,000 votes decided that election. And in a district the size of Delaware, that is just a massive misstep. So we booted up the campaign again in 2020. Here we are yet again. Super proud to be endorsed by Andrew Yang. Nate has always been a huge fan, and I can't say how much he wishes he could be here, but unfortunately, fundraising, money. That being said, Nate's campaign is based around bringing back good and solid leadership here to the people of New York 27th District, which is a span of land from Buffalo to Rochester. For those of you who don't know the size of that, it's about a 2-hour drive from one place to another there. So we are on the ground. We've been fighting hard. We're running against one of the richest men, not only in the state, but in the country. His family has consistently proven that they are not the type of people that we need in charge of this congressional district, nor are they the type of people that we should be sending to Washington in the first place. Forbes called them the face of corporate greed, and I think our campaign is everything antithetical to what they are. So thank you for having us. I'm looking forward to sharing how you can get involved with our campaign a little bit later here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Suzanne will be next. Suzanne Hugg of Arizona in the house.
Hey, Kimberly. Thank you. Hey, Yang Gang. It's good to see everybody out there. I am also Yang Gang, have been for over a year, so very excited to get this endorsement, to get to chat with Andrew. I'm a small business owner, and what we do is we're a game store. So shout out to all my fellow nerds who love Dungeons and Dragons and Magic. And even Andrew and I got to talk about our D&D characters a little bit. Being in the community though, owning a small business, and I also have 2 young sons like Andrew, you really are connected to the people around you. And Arizona, you might have seen it on the news lately because our COVID rate is skyrocketing right now. We've got GOP leadership that literally does not care about our lives. I can't even state that strongly enough, and I don't have to. The data is there. So what I want to do is really bring data-driven solutions to the Arizona State House. We're only 2 seats away from flipping blue and taking back control of our state. We're a huge battleground for the presidential election. So moving my area here in Mesa is going to be really big for the entire county of Maricopa and for the state of Arizona. So thank you so much for your support. I look forward to meeting you guys in breakout sessions. I know I've already seen some of you in some Yang Hangs or some hangs before, but let's get this done. It's time to take back our country, and I know we can do it together.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. We next are going to go to Blair. Blair's in the house.
Is it working?
Yes.
Okay, I can't tell when it went to me. I still see you, so I wasn't sure. Hey, everybody. I am Blair Walsingham. I'm running for Congress in Tennessee's 1st District. It is really red out here. I'm in the top right corner. I'm a mom of 4, and I'm just really sick of politicians not caring about us and the choices they're making. It seems really clear that they're not putting humanity forward. And I'm really just standing up for health and for freedom and for financial security. I am so excited to have you guys all here today and just to see the Yang Gang continue to grow and how many people really want change right now and who are willing to get outside of their comfort zone and just really fight for what's right. And I love you all for that. I'll go ahead and give you guys my website because I always forget to do it. So it's blairforcongress.com/volunteer. If I wait till the end, you'll never get it. But like I said, I'm a mom. I'm a small business owner too. I'm a dog groomer, and that's largely dead right now due to COVID, just because I don't want to risk anybody's safety. You know, and a lot of people are facing that. I live in a very, very poor area of Tennessee. Out of the top 10 poorest counties, 8 of them are in my district. So I see a lot of suffering out here regularly, and it's very extreme, from not even having electricity or running water to, you know, the tougher things that we face, like paying for our college loans, just getting an education or a decent job. And I also worry about my children's future. I have 2 preteens and 2 little ones. And regardless, right now, whether it's in 5 years or 10 years, I am worried. And I appreciate all of you just taking the effort and the leap of faith to make change. I feel like this is just a monumental moment, a turning point in our history, and you all are a part of that. So thank you for being on the right side of change.
Thank you so much. Next, we will have a representative from the Costa campaign.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, we got you.
Cool, thank you. I'm Terence Cullen. I'm the communications director for Costa Constantinides, who is running for Queensborough president. Costa wishes he could have been here himself tonight, but there was a family obligation that he had to attend to. But he sends his thanks to Andrew and everybody at Humanity Forward for the support that they've given, both in terms of amplifying our message, as well as some of the donations you guys made. You've really helped us get to our finish line. Our primary is also in New York this upcoming Tuesday. Early voting is happening. For those of you who don't know what a borough president is, in New York City, there are 5 of them, 1 for each borough. It's a role that traditionally has been treated ceremonial for the last 30 years, but Costa is running to reinvent this office to actually help the 2.3 million people in Queens. If we were our own city in the United States, we would we would compete with Houston for the 4th largest, and we're the most diverse place on earth. But for the last decades, there's been this race to the bottom. So Costa first wants to build new hospitals, using his position essentially as a county executive to secure resources to get healthcare for places like Southeast, Central, and Northwest Queens, which were the hardest hit areas of the COVID-19 crisis. But he also wants to make sure that we get Queens residents back to work in actual good union jobs, because for too long we've seen this sort of 1% mentality in New York City, where there are cranes all along 57th Street, but across the river in Queens there aren't a lot of opportunities, especially for Black and Brown and communities of color. So Costa wants to create 50,000 union green jobs in areas like solar installation and other green fields over the next decade, and make Queens the environmental leader. Last year in the New York City Council, he passed the Climate Mobilization Act, which many consider to be a Green New Deal for New York City. It was the largest carbon emissions reduction ever mandated by any city anywhere. He now wants to bring that to Borough Hall, which is where our county government would be based, and hire a deputy borough president for sustainability and resiliency. So we're leading the conversation on fighting climate change, but also how it impacts things like affordable housing and transportation and healthcare. So we're really excited to be here tonight. Alexander Hart, our field director, is also on the call. Costa sends his thanks and support. So thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Hi, welcome. And we next have coming up, Antoine Pierce. Antonio, are you here?
And Antoine.
Antoine, I'm so sorry. I'm unmuting you. Yes, there
Thank
we
you.
are.
Yes, I'm here. It's Antoine Pierce, and
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, big shout out from the state of Louisiana. If you haven't been here, shame on you. You're all welcome to come and try out some of our great delicacies here in Louisiana. But I'm running this campaign for the United States Senate. We're running against Bill Cassidy. And if you haven't heard of him, you aren't missing anything. Except perhaps one of the worst U.S. senators in the country, but other than that. But Louisiana is highest in incarceration, highest in poverty, lowest in education, lowest in healthcare, really in the country, we often compete with Mississippi. This campaign is about addressing those issues. This campaign is about changing those issues because I believe in this state. I grew up here in Baton Rouge my entire life. Most people know Louisiana from New Orleans, but I grew up in the capital city of Baton Rouge my entire life, and I know the potential of this state. I know the people have great hearts, and I believe in this campaign and what we're trying to do. We're fighting for universal basic income. And here's a little tidbit about Louisiana that most people don't know. We're actually going to be one of 2 states joining Alaska with having a dividend for for the citizens of Louisiana. We're right here on the coast, and there's oil and gas drilling off the coast here. And we were going to be one of 2 states that had a dividend for all of our citizens. So we were going to be one of the 50 state experiments for universal basic income for all people. But of course, the powers that be in our state legislature shot that down because the oil and gas industry has such a huge impact on the politics, not just in Louisiana, but across the country. So we are fighting every single day for those things that matter to most people: healthcare, education, building our crumbling infrastructure, these types of things, getting money out of politics. So we're fighting every single day for those issues that matter. We encourage you to be a part of this campaign. You can go to our website, which I'll put in the chat box at www.antoinepierce.com, and check out what it is that we're doing. And hopefully you'll come and be a part of this because we can change Louisiana, and then we'll change the world.
Yes, thank you so much. We are next going to the David Kim campaign. Tristan is here to speak to that.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Christine Yin. I am currently the head of fundraising on David Kim's campaign. Andrew Yang, it's a pleasure to virtually Zoom meet you. Thank you for endorsing David Kim, and thank you to Humanity Forward for endorsing David Kim. And by the way, Andrew, I'm also Formosan, so yay. So David Kim is running a platform in a campaign based on platforming for universal basic income, yay, $1,000 a month, as well as Medicare for All, Green New Deal. And he really is just someone who embodies love in action. It's something that is truly incredible to see in someone stepping into politics. So, the first time that I met him, I felt so compelled to just continue supporting him because he really genuinely cares about people. And what better way to change history and put people in power who really care about the people. Community first is his logo. It's what he walks. So he's the real deal. It's a pleasure and honor to be here amongst all of you change makers and action takers, humanity-centered people. It's a pleasure to represent David Kim and his staff. If you want to check out more about what we do and what we're fighting for, the website is davidkim2020.com. So thank you all so much. Thanks for having us.
Hi, thank you so much. We are next going to go to the Ron Kim campaign. Ron, I'm getting you. Thank you so much. There you are.
Thank you all. Thank you, Kimberly. And thank you, Andrew and the Yang Gang and all the candidates who joined us today. I congratulate everyone for stepping up to the plate and running for office. I know it's a tough, long journey, and I'm so honored to be in this class with the human forward, candidates, humanity forward candidates. I'm Assemblyman Ron Kim. I won my seat to the State Assembly back in 2013. I'm running for re-election. And let me just begin by saying, one of my favorite moments during the presidential election was when Andrew Yang talked about the caring economy on national stage. And not many people actually paid attention to that moment. But for me, I jumped out the window because I can't believe he's talking about what a caring economy is and capturing people's values on this presidential play. No one else understood on that stage what that really meant, but Andrew got that. For me, everything, all roads lead to our ability to capturing people's values better. And that's what UBI really is about. And for the last few years, I've championed a list of legislations to achieve precisely that, from pushing public banking to worker cooperatives, to making sure our benefits are much more fluid and flexible. Everything is about capturing people's values. And despite me getting up on the platform for the last couple of years, warning people that we are facing an inevitable recession. This is happening. All the signs are already there. People weren't paying attention. We were literally sleepwalked into this crisis. I know the COVID-19 was the trigger, but all the signs for economic distress was already there. But we had the answers. We had the solutions, but people weren't paying attention to it. So I look forward to winning and getting to work and working with this coalition and working with Andrew and everyone else on this call to make sure that we have an economy that's inclusive and then make sure that we take care of every single person in our community. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. And lastly, we have Jen Pearlman. Are you in the house? There you are, beautiful.
Hi.
There you are.
I'm here. Thank you guys so much for having me on. So I am Jen, and I am running for Congress in Florida's 23rd district down in South Florida. So I have South Broward and a little bit of Dade. I am challenging Debbie Wasserman Schultz in the primary down here. And just a little bit about our district is it's extremely gerrymandered. And so the only way to unseat an incumbent is in a closed primary in a very gerrymandered blue district. So essentially, this is the only path to doing that. And I feel so honored that Andrew even reached out and was interested in our campaign. And I feel extremely humbled by that and very flattered. But the Yang Gang has been inspiring me the entire race. And even though I was a Bernie person, I very much always appreciated the voice of reason that was brought by Andrew and all of the Yang Gang. So I really appreciate that very much, and that you all are willing to sort of come on with this and be supportive. It means everything to us. We really need help. So without the ability to canvass, we are absolutely stuck with phone banking and we need help. So, if by the end of my little spiel, if anybody feels so inspired to come on at gen2020.com and sign up and help us phone bank, that would be amazing. But our campaign is about community service and justice. I started running this as a community service campaign about 8 months ago. All of our volunteers, in addition to canvassing pre-COVID, do all sorts of community service, veterans nursing home, food distributions, park cleanups, just anything where we were needed for help. I called it Gen Corps, and we go out and serve. So that I see it as a term of service, not a career. That's the premise of our campaign. And our platform is one about justice, economic justice, social justice, environmental justice. And UBI is absolutely a part of that for me. I do believe in creating a certain social safety net for people. I believe that the division between the haves and the have-nots is at a ridiculous space right now, and we need to bring justice back for everybody. So that's what we're about. I would encourage everybody to check us out at gen2020.com. We definitely need help with phone banking, text banking. If there's anyone out there that does things like graphic design, we're always looking for help. We love in-kind donations. Everybody on this call is brilliant and gifted in some particular way. So however we can, use that, it would be amazing. So if anybody has any questions or, thoughts, I'm very open. We are also at GenFL23 on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, that's sweet. I'm reading little comments. That's really nice. I'm also very tech challenged, so forgive me. So yeah, that's it. And I missed the beginning, so I wasn't really sure what else I'm supposed to say or what else. Did I do what I'm supposed to do?
You did.
Right.
You did beautifully. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
We're going to take it to Andrew for just one more minute and then thank him for his presence. And then Tom and Stassi are going to give us a little lowdown.
Thank you, everyone. Holy cow. Can you see why I am so excited about each and every one of these candidates? Can you imagine a country where they were in charge? We would be so much better off, and we can make it happen. So let's get out there and fight for it. If you are watching this in some kind of recording or whatnot, single out at least one of these candidates and say, I'm going to go to bat for Jen, Suzanne, Blair, Ron, Robbie, any of the people that you saw here today, Russ, you name it. They'd all be such a massive upgrade over their opponents, and let's make it happen. Let's get Jermaine some company in that winner's circle. Now is the time. Antoine too, for sure. My gosh, can you imagine Antoine representing Louisiana? What a coup that would be. That would be so great. And we can make it happen. The institutions are not doing their jobs. Everyone is sick and tired of it. Everyone's fed up. Everyone's looking for a good alternative. And these people are what they've been waiting for. So let's make it happen. Let's go fight for a future that we'll actually be proud of to leave to our kids. I'm now going to let you all go to your breakout rooms and whatnot, but we don't have any time to waste. Some of these people are up on Tuesday. Some of them have ballots that are available to be mailed in right now. So let's get out. Let's reach the people that we need to reach, and let's win some races. Thank you all so much. I love so many of you on this call too. I got to say, seeing your faces and whatnot, this is like Yang Gang Vanguard from around the country. I miss you all. Hopefully we'll all be out able to campaign in person very, very soon. But yeah, let's win some races. Thank you all. These candidates are incredible, aren't they? I loved talking to each and every one of them, and now you see why. Thank you all.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much for being here and being with us. We are now going to go to Tom and Stasia to give everyone a little training info, and then we're going to go into our breakout rooms.
All right. And as we're doing the training, all of our moderators and incredible team doing all the back end work, we can start to move out some of the candidates so that they can get comfortable and take any logistical steps they need to. So you have heard from all of these incredible people, this massive wave that we are seeing that's building, and they are coming in and they are saying, we need phone bankers. We need people to contribute to help us spread the message and to make a difference. And so what we're going to do is just quickly highlight the ways that you can make a very tangible impact right now. Especially, we have 5 days until the next round of elections that are going on in New York and Kentucky. So we are going to emphasize how you can get that ball rolling as well. So right now I'm going to make sure that I can share my screen and see if we can get this process going. So here we go. Kimberly, or can I get a confirmation that we can see this? Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Perfect. All right. So here is our nationwide call to action. What we are very excited about is the fact that, yes, this is our moment to really make a universal basic income a reality. And it's an opportunity that we must capitalize on. We have to move as quickly as possible. We have to be the people that are fighting for those that are fighting for us. All of these candidates that are out there, this is our chance to do the work because they're making that sacrifice. So right now we have 3 main ways that Humanity Forward is helping to prioritize action in this kind of rapid response period we're in. The first is candidate support. We'll cover that a little bit later, but it's mostly a emphasis on get out the vote, GOTV, phone banking. And we'll show you how easy it is and how fun it can be. We have congressional pressure opportunities because right now, this moment, we have a number of different bills that are existing, floating around Congress, whether it's something that Kamala Harris had shared that a number of senators have jumped onto, whether it's the HEROES Act. There are a number of ways to help us get direct cash transfers right now in the moment and start building towards that progress. So we can pressure Congress right now, right today, and make that happen. The final piece is demonstrating the power of direct cash transfers and supporting people through the COVID relief calls and other support that is going on through Humanity Forward. They've been doing for quite a while now a micro grant program of about $250 per person that says, we understand that the whole world seems to be crumbling a little bit, And we need to make sure that we are looking out for one another. When you're struggling financially, every single week matters. Every single week is an opportunity for you to find that job or be able to get those benefits or do whatever you need to just survive and take care of your family. And this is a big way to contribute there as well. So there's a lot that you can do right now in the moment to make a difference. Before I pass it over to our friends Drew and Stasha to walk through phone banking, I do want to mention that this rapid response that is happening is also happening alongside our friends over at the Humanity First movement, who are focused on a broader organizational structure and trying to design a movement that lasts. So it is absolutely pivotal for us to jump in and do the work now, but it is just as important for us to continue building and making sure that this has the longevity to truly make a difference and change the world in which we live. So with that, I will pass it on over to Drew or Stasha to talk about supporting our candidates.
Hey y'all, I'm Stasha Yim. I was also a staff on the Yang campaign. I worked on ballot access, so I know I interacted with quite a few of you getting those signatures, securing the signatures. And we're gonna shift gears. The first thing we're gonna talk about obviously is candidate support. So the 3 priorities that Tom laid out, we don't have anybody from Congress on this call, so we're not gonna pressure anybody right now. But we do need to help these candidates get elected. And the primary need, especially with the candidates whose races are right around the corner, less than a week away, is get on the phone. So I know, I get it. Do I have to phone? Man, I don't want to call strangers and talk to strangers. But the data shows us that that is the most effective way to influence, to engage, and to get more data is by talking to candidates with our mouths. We know it can seem a little intimidating at first, but we promise it's super easy. And Drew will walk you through the different kinds of phone banking platforms. So Drew.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Hello, perfect. Hello, all right. Hey everybody, my name is Drew Corbett. I was also staff on the Yang campaign. I was distributed director. Since then, I've been working to try to build up volunteer teams for a lot of pro-UBI candidates. So it's very encouraging and thrilling to see so many people a part of this call. Really briefly, I want to talk to you about the different kinds of phone banking that are available that we primarily use. First is a service called OpenVPB. It's something that that campaigns can very easily deploy. It's a very low-cost alternative. With that, basically what comes up, what happens, are we going to be, Tom, are you able to click through on that? If not, that's cool. OpenVPB, perfect. It's very straightforward. You call the number directly yourself. So you actually have your phone, you dial the phone number, and you go through the script, answer a few basic questions, and then it's really straightforward. Sometimes you get a lot of people that don't answer. You get some wrong numbers in there. You get some answering machines, things like that. But yeah, you just go through the script, answer a few straight up questions, and then move on to the next caller. So it's a really kind of basic form of phone banking. The other service is an actual dialer. And so if you're familiar with, if you did any phone banking on the Yang campaign, first of all, thank you so much. That was very critical and crucial, and it's a very big ask. But with a dialer, it's a little bit different. So instead of actually manually dialing the number, what you'll do is you'll log into the dialer, and the dialer just starts automatically calling phone numbers. And it's able to determine if a person picks up. It's able to determine if an answering machine picks up, or if there's no answer. But it will automatically connect callers. It will automatically connect you to people who pick up the phone. So that way you don't have to spend a lot of time dialing. You don't have to spend a lot of time, leaving messages on answering machines, things like that. It's just boom, 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 going through the calls. The more people that are on the dialer at one time, the better, the faster it goes. So we really encourage a lot of people to make phone calls on the dialer at the same time. So those are the two main forms of phone banking. As you can see, clicking through there is very simple. It just moves right through the script. There it is. It's beautiful. Yeah, back to the slides. See if I missed anything. I don't think I did. So cool. I'm so thrilled to see so many people on here, so many familiar names and faces. So I'm gonna kick it over, I think, back to Stasha to talk a bit more about phone banking.
Yeah, so just to finish up before we move on to the other two initiatives, number one priority is helping these races that are right around the corner. And the number one need, you've heard it from the candidates themselves, they need phone banking. So no matter how you phone bank, so no matter what platform you use through the campaign that you decide to help, you'll have support. Not only will the campaign staff be there every step of the way, Humanity Forward will as well. Myself and Tom and Drew are available to you to answer any questions you may have. You'll have a script to follow, so that takes a lot of the pressure off. You do not have to be an expert on phone banking initiatives. Saying, I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm just a volunteer is perfectly acceptable. So we don't want you to think that you have to be an expert on every single policy position for any candidate. But most importantly, you're gonna help boost a candidate whose platform and values can help move us all forward. I just want you to think about how you felt listening to all these amazing candidates speak tonight. If any of us can play any part in moving these conversations forward, getting more candidates just like them, and getting these candidates in office, then it is worth facing any stress that you may feel about calling a stranger on the phone. So we do hope that you'll join us. We'll have information for each of those candidates in this slide presentation. So I'm going to kick it back to Tom, and he'll cover the next two priorities beyond just candidate support. But I do hope you'll join us for some phone banking efforts starting like yesterday. So, Tom.
Yes, officially we are emphasizing as much as possible this type of phone banking and engaging and supporting our candidates. They're the ones that help us change the halls of power. So thank you so much, Stasha. Thank you so much, Drew. The other two initiatives that we've mentioned, the congressional pressure and COVID relief. The first thing, we will have an opportunity for everybody to join into our rapid response Slack if they want to learn more, since we aren't heavily prioritizing those during these next 5 days. This is a good place for you to learn more information. We will be sharing links and getting everybody involved after this call ends. The first, the congressional pressure, we are partnering with our friends over at the Income Movement. Right now, they are in the process of updating their bailoutthepeople.com website to include a new letter writing campaign that is specifically targeted at certain people, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And so if you want to help us push a universal basic income to continue to make sure that everybody that is in power is realizing this message, you can go to bailoutthepeople.com, write a letter every day, then pick up the phone and make some dials. The other way to help out is the COVID relief that we've mentioned earlier. This is a very straightforward training that Brenna helps lead, and it is a 30-minute process that you can get up and running real quick. As we finish this out, we are just going to quickly highlight those candidates that have elections coming up in the next 5 days. So this upcoming Tuesday, June 23rd. First, we have Mike Brewer running for Kentucky Senate. When we share these slides, everybody will have a link where they can click and find different ways to sign up. Nate McMurray, who, remember, is not just running in a primary, he is running in a special election. So this is a very good chance for you to actually start to make change that will happen in the shortest amount of time. We don't have to wait through the general. He can start making a difference soon. We have Russ, who, as you heard, he is a progressive leader and is doing a ton of phenomenal things over in New Jersey. He's also the one whose phone banking script was the one that we used, so you can tell that he knows how to run a good campaign. Costa, like they mentioned earlier, he is running for the Queensborough president, which is a massive role, and he is trying to redefine the way that role works, which is kind of the overall goal of this movement. So definitely lend him some support. Jeremy is again running for state senate. Absolutely someone that is willing to put in the effort, and as you heard, he is truly committed to these types of things. And then finally, our last two, the people that got endorsed today, the very, very exciting moment. We have Ron Kim and Yulin Miao, who are both running for the New York State Assembly, which is enormously exciting. So I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to see this and jump in and do your part. So thank you everyone for bearing with us on the training part of this. We will be sharing these slides after the fact so everybody can see and learn where they can get involved. But for now, it's our chance to go have a more direct conversation with some of the candidates. So I will kick it over to Kimberly to focus on the breakout rooms.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we've got you.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think we're about ready to open up the rooms. Peter and I were just calling or getting everybody lastly co-hosted. I'm hoping that we got everyone and we can open up the rooms, and all of you staffers and candidates have the co-hosting ability and autonomy to move back to the main room if you need to. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. And we're going to open up these rooms. Peter, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Peter, play some music.
Hello. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the main room. We hope you had a wonderful time with your candidates and your friends and your community. Thank you very much all for being here this evening. We so appreciate everyone taking part in this call to action and helping us through the next steps of bringing up all of these campaigns, bringing up all of these candidates so that we can fight to make this world a better place and this country move forward in the way that we want it to. Thank you all for being here, and thank you so much, all of the candidates, for coming. Thank you, all of your staff. We do apologize for any missteps or moments that we may have had through this evening and assigning you rooms and bringing you back and all that jazz. We just want to say thank you very much. And thank you, Peter, for doing all of the hard work going on right here with the assigning of the rooms and making all that happen. We were culling it and making everybody in the right space as best we could. Thank you so much. And I will now send it over to Tom, and he's gonna introduce our next guest.
All right, so just a shout out to all the people that are working on the back end to make this thing run smoothly. Zoom likes to make it challenging, and we always like to make it fun. So you just had a chance to talk with some candidates, maybe someone that isn't living near you, that you weren't quite sure how you would engage with or how their winning could help you. And I hope it gives you a sense of what this broader movement means and what the power of someone winning an election anywhere in the country, what it means. It allows us to show that UBI is part of a winning platform. It shows that it is what turns out new voters and new volunteers. And it's the reason why we need to go phone bank and make sure that we have more winners. So with that in mind, I really want to celebrate my good friend, Jermaine Johnson, the first official Humanity Forward endorsed candidate to win an election. I was on the ground here in South Carolina, sweating with him, doing everything we could to knock on every door, drop off every flyer, talk to every single person we can. And he is just a ball of positivity and the perfect person to give us a call to action and close this night on out. So Jermaine, coming your way.
What the heck is up, Yang Gang? What is up with y'all? Man, I want to tell y'all, how much I appreciate every last one of you all. You see, I'm just getting done teaching my class this evening, and I'm pulling over just so I could talk to the Yang Gang right now. And I want you all to understand how appreciative I am for everything that you all have done for me, for all the work that you all have done, all the all the phone calls y'all made, all the text messages you sent out. I mean, all the tweets, you know, tagging me and everything. I try to read everybody's stuff. I can't read it all, but I do my freaking best to read everybody's tweets, to retweet people. I want to say that I thank you all so much for everything that you all have done. And you all have no idea how important and how big of a part that you all play and in this entire movement. Because without you all making those phone calls, I mean, a lot of our constituents probably would not be able to hear from us. You know, I can't make 10, 15, 20,000 phone calls by myself. But when you have the Yang Gang behind you, we can pretty much do anything. We literally showed the people of my district that we have not just a District 80 movement, but we have a national freaking movement, y'all. And the people out here are so excited because what we have been able to do here. We literally took out a 22-year incumbent. That is unfreaking heard of, a 22-year incumbent here. And the fact that we were able to do that, I mean, we were in the newspaper. I had one of the old mayors here in South Carolina. His name is Bob Coble, Mayor Coble. And he said, Jermaine, in my 20 years as being the mayor, he said, I never had my name and my face in the newspaper as much as you have. And a lot of that, and then he asked about, he said, Jermaine, you've got like 900, because they were researching me. He's like, man, you got like 900 individual contributions. He said, how in the heck are you doing that? I said, man, I got the Yang Gang behind me, man. The Yang Gang supports everything that we're doing. The Yang Gang supports us. And because the Yang Gang has supported me, we broke all these records. No other candidate in South Carolina had that many individual contributions. No other candidate in South Carolina was able to put as much media out there as me. There's no other candidate. We literally are breaking records here, and it's all because of what you all have helped me to do. So that's when I tell people that, you know, I didn't win this election. I did not win this election. We won this election, and I must tell you again, we, and I have to stress that, we won this election. We did it together because I could not do any of this without you. I mean, I was, you know, getting with Tom, and Tom was out here riding his bicycle with me. We were sweating our freaking balls off out here trying to ride from one city to the next on our bicycles, putting flyers out on people's mailboxes. Obviously, I could not do that by myself. I could not do it by myself. So, you know, having the Yang Gang behind me and standing with me when we were, you know, doing all these different things, I mean, it made all the difference in the world. You all made all the difference in the world. We had, you know, contributions from all 50 states, including Puerto Rico. That's unfreaking heard of. All 50 states, including Puerto Rico. I had to call my South Carolina Democratic Party chairman. I had to ask him, I said, hey, Trav, like, can I accept money from Puerto Rico, man? Like, I was like, is that legal? I was like, is that legal? He was like, yeah. He said, because they're a territory, you can accept it. I said, man, I have a contribution from Puerto Rico. And then, you know, y'all see me put that tweet out saying, hey, the last state that I was missing was Alaska. And, you know, how fitting is it that my last contribution comes from Alaska? You know, I mean, it was just freaking amazing, man. That, you know, I have multiple contributions now coming from Alaska. So because of what we have, what we got, I mean, it is absolutely freaking amazing. Everybody loves what you all are doing. And what we have done, I want to let you all know this now. What we have been able to do here in South Carolina with the Yang Gang backing me and helping us win, we have turned at least 3 other state legislators here that now want to be a part of the Yang Gang. So imagine what that's going to do for Andrew Yang in 2024. Imagine what that's going to do for our entire movement. We are literally going to bring the wave down on South Carolina, a place that nobody thought that we could do anything. We're bringing the wave to South Carolina, and South Carolina is prime real estate for Andrew Yang and for the Yang Gang. So I'm telling you, I'm going to continue working on everybody's behalf here in South Carolina. I'm going to keep, you know, going all the way across the state, singing the praises of everybody and doing what has to be done. But I'm letting you know, because of you all, I now get to go to the State House in January, and I don't have to take sides with anybody. Because of this grassroots movement, I can literally go in there with my conscience still intact, with my integrity, with my morals, with my values, and I can vote with my heart now. I can vote with my heart and with my mind. I don't have to align myself with anybody because of you. And that's one of the things that I got. That's one of the good compliments that I actually got from a representative today. Representative Wendy Brawley here in South Carolina. She said, Jermaine, what you were able to do was absolutely amazing because you did it with such class and integrity, and you did not have to align yourself with anybody. And she said, Jermaine, you beat the establishment. She said, you beat the establishment. That is unheard of. I beat the establishment without having to align myself with anybody. And that is because of the Yang Gang. That is because of the Yang Gang.
Now, Jermaine, that brings me up to a good question from when we were on the campaign trail. You mentioned that the Yang Gang, with everybody coming in right at the end, doing this powerful GOTV phone banking effort. You told a story about one of your friends that was running and lost by a really slim margin. I mean, can you tell us the impact of that and why we got to get people to the phones?
Yeah, so my buddy, he actually won. So my buddy name is Derek Pugh. And you can actually look it up. You can look it up right now. He was in the same election I'm in. And he's running for Richland County Council. And he was running against, I think she's a 15-year incumbent. So she's been in there forever, and he's a newcomer. He just beat her by 52 votes. 52 votes. So I want you all to understand that every single vote counts. And if you think about it, 52 votes, that's nothing more than 52 phone calls. A lot of people here in South Carolina, they will vote for you if you just simply ask them to vote. So if you just call them and say, hey, will you vote for Jermaine Johnson? Those people are like, you know what, hey, all right, you're the first person to call me. I'll vote for him. 52 votes, right? So all you have to do is call those extra 52 people. So understand that these races are close and every single vote matters. So that's why you have to get on these phone calls. That's why you have to get out there and ask these people to vote for our candidates. That's why you have to bring that power, bring the energy to these phone calls and say, hey, this person here stands for something, and this person here is going to bring the change, the much needed change that we need.
Well, and with that, I'm sorry we are mute locked at the moment, but I'm sure there is thunderous applause to be had. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the candidates. Thank you to all the volunteers. And look at that. Okay, now I'm on the spotlight. But you know what we're missing here is the Yang Gang. Let's go ahead and go back to that grid view. You know, everybody, the world is changing, and I think we are part of changing the world. Right, Jermaine?
We are absolutely part. I mean, you got to think about. Listen, you see, I'm still rocking my math hat. Like you see, I rock my math hat just about every day. So I want people to know that. Listen, this is not just. I'm not just going in here as regular Jermaine Johnson. I'm going in here as the Yang Gang, and all y'all coming with me. So you know, I'm the first to make it in here, but I'm not going to be the last. I will not be the last. And all of y'all will make sure that I will not be the last. And this is a movement. This is a movement. Even without Andrew Yang, this is a movement, and we all truly believe in humanity first, and we are going to bring the change, the much-needed change to America that everybody is asking for.
Well, thank you again, Jermaine. I know I feel fired up. I'm sure the rest of you do too. And it's time to get out there and take some action again. We're making some of the best, most wholesome gangs ever. And on that note, I'm going to play us out and close out the night with a little bit of music.
Hey!
Thank you, everybody. You've been beautiful. And thanks to all the candidates. Thank you to all the co-hosts. Shout out to Peng Yang. I see you in my little window there. It's been too long, my friend. We shall see you all very soon. Get out there, though. Get out there and volunteer. It's how we change the world.
Phone bank. Go phone bank.
Go phone bank.
Go phone bank.
Phone bank.
Phone bank.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Peter.
Everybody unmute. Everyone.
Go phone bank, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Jermaine.
Simply introducing someone else to the
You're the first of the wave, man.
Yeah.
What the next hang?